Hi, my name is Gibson, and I'm the creator of the Personal Development School. This is your daily breakthrough video, and in this video, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about why an anxious, preoccupied individual may block somebody in a relationship. So, the number one reason that the anxious, preoccupied does this is because they are trying to create a barrier. And what this is really indicative of is literally the anxious, preoccupied individual is not quite over this person in the relationship yet. And because the anxious individual doesn't trust themselves to be able to hold that space on their own, they try to create as many barriers as possible. And what this really looks like, if you dig more deeply into it, is the anxious, preoccupied individual, their conscious mind knows that the relationship with the person is not right for them. And yet their subconscious mind is still driven to move back towards that person. So the conscious mind analytically creates that barrier, creates that block. The subconscious mind still usually sees more drawbacks to creating that space. And usually what we'll see is when an AP blocks somebody, they're not more likely, but they're still very much likely to go back to that person. Like I always talk about, like when we are more indifferent, that's a greater sign that we're over somebody than when we still have this really strong emotional charge. And the hard thing for anxious, preoccupied individuals when they're getting over a breakup is that their wounds, right? Like let's say you're wondering, why do I stay in this unhealthy relationship, or why do I have a hard time like actually ending communication with somebody? Well, because the fear of abandonment is so strong that, let's say that is a 9 or 10 out of 10 in terms of how strong that fear comes on. And let's say leaving the relationship would only cause that fear to really come online and take hold, versus the pain of staying in a relationship that you know isn't right is maybe only like a -4 out of 10, right? It's like, okay, so this is the fear of staying in the relationship when it's not 100% is here. The fear of leaving the relationship is so much higher and stronger. And that's usually when we see these types of patterns of behavior. And so if you are the AP, it's a sign that there's this huge fear of abandonment that you really want to like work on and work through so that you don't get chained to relationships that you know aren't right for you, just because you're making a decision not to leave based on fear instead of truth, right? Like if you know this isn't the right situation, this isn't the right relationship, and yet you stay, and that staying is driven by the fear or the wound of abandonment, it's an injustice to you. And so it's really important that if you see yourself with these types of patterns where you're like blocking somebody, or you're trying to end a relationship, but you keep going back, like do yourself the favor, ask yourself first and foremost, am I staying because of fear of being alone and feeling this feeling of abandonment, or am I staying because this is truly the right relationship for me and I know that, and it's healthy and it's thriving and it's got all the good signs that I need in order to continuously invest my energy into it? And if your answer is the first one, no, it's because of fear, then you want to do the work so you can set yourself free. And this is such a big topic, you know, for all different insecure attachment styles, where we can find ourselves like, oh my gosh, you know, I know better, but I keep going back to this situation. And be gentle to yourself if you are going through that right now. You know, it's not easy, and there's a lot of subconscious programs that are usually taking hold. But if you want to be able to work through those things, it's so important that you work through those wounds at a subconscious level, those imprints that are there. And if you want to do a really deep dive into that, we've got an entire course. It's our advanced core wounds course. It helps you like really isolate your core wounds that are often the place we make decisions from that aren't necessarily the healthiest long-term decisions. It's like when we don't go after the things we want because we believe we're not good enough or we're not worthy, or we push people away because we believe that we're going to be betrayed or we can't trust, or we hold on to relationships for too long, like anxious, preoccupied individuals, because we're afraid of being abandoned or alone. And it's like you're making choices for your life based on old pain. And we really want to do justice to ourselves by being able to work through that pain so we can make a decision from the place of like our highest potential, what we know is right for our future. And again, if you want to do a deep dive into that, you can click the link in the description box below. It's the Advanced Core Wounds course. It just really helps you dive right into your core wounds. We also have guided processes for reprogramming core wounds, which you can check out as well. Again, 7-day free trial. And they're guided sort of like a combination between like meditation and visualization exercises I've recorded to just help you do that reprogramming work at a subconscious level. But they're a little more interactive than meditation. You have to like actually do reprogramming, but I guide you through it. So check those out. And hopefully this makes a whole lot of sense in terms of why these patterns of behavior can come about. And I may make a separate video just on this topic specifically, but that's it for today. So thank you so much for watching and for being here. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in tomorrow's video.